Synopsis. Ever since I was little, my reflex arc had been much slower than ordinary people. Even if someone's malice was dropped right in front of my face, I couldn't process it in time. But thanks to my overly adorable face, I was nicknamed the foolish little beauty. The boys at the orphanage would use magnifying glasses to catch the sunlight, treating my braided pigtails like fireworks to ignite. The fire licked through a section of my hair, leaving a singed, acrid smell. Eye for an eye. I rolled up my sleeves, hung them upside down from a tree, and did exactly what they did to me, setting fire to the tufts of hair on their heads. In my eyes, it was a very lively game. Little did I know, I was the only one having fun. They cried their lungs out and ran to tell the teacher. The orphanage teacher just glanced at me, her voice instantly softening like honey. Our Tang Tang is so adorable. How could she be at fault? Your punishment is eating 2 packs of spicy snacks. The boys rolled their eyes, watching the teacher pat my head and softly coax me. Later, those boys came up with a new trick. They threw firecrackers into the cesspit and invited me to celebrate New Year's Eve early. Who would have thought that with one slip of the foot, the whole gang would fall straight into the pit? I stood at the top, staring blankly as they struggled in the pile of excrement, then cupped my hands like a megaphone and yelled down, "Why do you guys like swimming in the latrine so much?" They choked on mouthfuls of dirty water, coughing and screaming. "Are you the devil incarnate? Pull us up, quickly." I pinched my nose, turned around, and ran straight away. It really stank too much. When I was 16, Mr. and Mrs. G visited the orphanage for the first time. The child they chose to adopt was Jiao La, the one with the worst temper in the institution. Our son has a gloomy temper and is absolutely lawless. He hardly has any peers willing to stay by his side. Therefore, we want to adopt a child of the same age with a similar personality to grow up with him as a companion. We will treat the child like family. For now, the media will be told he is a relative's child. Thinking he would get delicious food, Xiaola nodded in agreement. Just as he was being taken away by the Ji family, he glared at me, his eyes as vicious as if he wanted to tear me apart. "I will engrave what you did," burning my hair and pushing me into the cesspit into my bones. Now that I am a relative of the Ji family, wait until I strike it rich. I will definitely make you pay 100 times over. I reached out and touched my smooth brain, feeling strangely empty. I couldn't remember a single thing he was talking about. The teacher handed me a steamed bun, and I happily hugged it, nibbling on it bit by bit. As for Zhao La's threats, I didn't care at all. But it wasn't long before Zhao La ran frantically back to the orphanage on his own. He cried until his snot and tears mixed together. Jiu Yahan is truly Satan reincarnated. He's even more terrifying than Tang Tang. I wouldn't go back there even if I died. Boo-hoo. I was terrifying. I was obviously the kindest person in the world. The teacher said Tang Tang was a beautiful and adorable child. So according to that logic, Jiu Yahan must be a good person too. So, when the Ji family wanted to adopt another child, I volunteered myself. On my first day stepping into the Jiu household, I received a welcoming gift from Jiu Yahan. Several huge roosters were thrown onto my bed. Having departed in a tremendously tragic posture, Jiu Yahan pushed the door and stepped into the bedroom. On his unreally handsome face, there were still streaks of dried dark red blood, concealing a bit of stubborn wickedness. His voice was deep and gloomy, like it was echoing from an abyss. "Afraid, little brat? If you're afraid, get the hell out of the Ji family. Never appear in front of me again." I blinked and reached out to turn on the light. As the light flooded the room, the gloomy atmosphere instantly vanished. I stood on my tiptoes and patted his messy head. "Brother, Could you lower your head a bit? Jiu Yahan's masculine Adam's apple bobbed slightly, and almost instinctively, he bent down. I pulled a wet wipe from my pocket and carefully wiped the dried chicken blood off his face. Your skills are too poor. Let me do it next time. I'm super good at slitting throats. After saying that, I grabbed the roosters on the bed by their necks, threw them into the kitchen, picked up a meat cleaver, and started chopping loudly, every strike extremely precise. We have chicken soup to slurp tonight. Behind me, Jiu Yahan swallowed hard, then gritted out word by word as if grinding them to dust. Are you provoking me? Just wait until it's time to sleep. My bed was ruined, so I had to sleep on Jiu Yahan's bed. But I wasn't used to the place, tossing and turning endlessly. Jiu Yahan had to lie on the cold, hard floor, listening to my ceaseless shifting. Finally, seemingly losing all patience, he snapped. Can't you sleep peacefully for a moment? Sorry, brother. I'm having a little trouble sleeping. Don't call me brother. The GU family hasn't processed the adoption papers yet. In name, you are merely a relative staying over. I pouted without a word and continued rolling around on the bed counting sheep. He let out a long sigh, then began muttering explanations of cone geometry in a flat, monotone voice like chanting sutras. Soon enough, my head was splitting. My smooth brain felt like it was being forced to grow wrinkles. And so, 3 minutes later, I fell fast asleep. The next morning at breakfast, Jiu Yahan sported 2 dark circles as thick as ink. With a gloomy and dispirited expression, he cut his toast. Meanwhile, I had slept incredibly well. As soon as I sat down, I started sweeping through every plate. He was already in a bad mood, and seeing me made him even more annoyed. Eat more. Eat this too. You're as skinny as a stray dog. I completely missed the sarcasm in his words. My cheeks puffed out like a squirrel's as I mumbled vaguely. The food in our house is really delicious. Tang Tang loves it. Jiu Yahan narrowed his eyes at me. He casually picked up a brownie and some plump red strawberries in front of him and tossed them all onto my plate. Eat all of this. Don't leave any leftovers. Brother Jiu Yahan was truly a rare good person. Knowing I wasn't full, he even gave up his own breakfast for me. I smiled, my eyes curving into crescents as I thanked him, and continued munching non-stop, leaving Jiu Yahan standing frozen on the spot on an empty stomach. Father and Mother Jiu arranged for me to be in the same class as him. Before leaving the house, they instructed, Tang Tang is pure-hearted. If she gets bullied at school, you must protect your sister. Jiu Yahan glanced at me, the corners of his lips curling into a half-smile. I will naturally take good care of her. At school, he and I became deskmates. Every recess, his lackeys would swarm around, conveniently blocking the aisle. They wouldn't even let me go to the water cooler to get a drink. One guy stood in front of me with his arms crossed, his tone full of mockery. Get on your knees and bark twice to amuse Brother Jiu, and we'll let you go get water. The whole class whispered among themselves. Why is Jiu Yahan like this? Bullying a girl. Tang is an acquaintance of his family. Doing this is too much. I quickly stood up to explain on his behalf. You always have to line up at the water cooler. Brother Jiu Yahan didn't want me to suffer, so he was planning to go get it for me. Saying that, I turned to look at him, blinking my big round eyes. Am I right, brother? Jiu Yahan obviously didn't expect the narrative to twist like this. His expression shifted like a scattered color palette. Finally, he just gave a cold snort, handed my water cup to his lackey, and told him to go get it for me. It wasn't until the bell was about to ring that the lackey placed the cup on my desk. When he met my eyes, his gaze darted around guiltily. Jiu Yahan, sitting next to me, took in the whole scene. But I hadn't noticed a thing. As soon as I unscrewed the lid, A foul, fishy stench hit my nose, making me frown slightly. It smelled exactly like the photinia flowers planted in the school's flower beds. I didn't pay much attention to it, but just as I lowered my head to drink, Jiu Yahan cursed softly. The next second, he snatched the cup from my hand and threw its entire contents into the potted plant nearby. Water splashed everywhere, and his face was as ugly as it could get. "Your water cup is ugly as hell. I'll buy you a new one." I suddenly realized the truth. So, my brother wanted to gift me a new cup. Compared to being despised by Jiu Yahan, I was extremely well-liked by my classmates. The boys frequently stuffed snacks into my hands and volunteered to do my homework. Jiu Yahan watched this, grinding his teeth. The guys clinging to Tang looked like a bunch of simps. The boys retorted in unison, "So what?" I also nodded with a bright smile. I love puppies the most. Especially Samoyeds, they look like smiling angels. As for the girls in the class, whenever they saw Jiu Yahan pulling a long face at me, they would immediately block him, scolding in hushed voices. Jiu Yahan might be handsome, but bullying his classmate every day deserves a heavy demerit. Tang is so adorable and pure. Exactly. So cute and soft. Who wouldn't like her? I hastily explained. Actually, he doesn't bully me. After all, every time someone suffers a loss, it only seems to be him. But they were still indignant. Jiu Yahan is only good at bullying silly Tang. The dynamic between me and Jiu Yahan was gradually noticed by more people. Until one day, during the mid-morning break, I was cornered in the bathroom by a few girls from another class. Their eyes were full of hostility, like needles piercing my skin. I didn't expect Jiu Yahan to have such a stupid sister like you. Brother Jiang Xi just returned from abroad, and in his first monthly exam, Jiu Yahan stole first place from him. You are his sister, so it's only right that we teach you a lesson. The person they mentioned was Jiang Xi. He was Jiu Yahan's childhood friend and one of the few people who could actually talk to my brother. Before I could fully comprehend this, a slap landed on my cheek with a crisp smack. Who are you showing that innocent, pitiful face to? Who are you trying to seduce? Make her drink the mop water. Today we have to teach her a proper lesson to vent Jiang Xi's anger. At the same time, in the classroom, Jiu Yahan was spinning his pen, looking bored. But for some reason his heart began to beat faster, as if something was urging him. Why is Tang taking so long? Did she fall into the toilet? Thinking of that, he stood up abruptly and strode toward the bathroom. On this side, the girls had already started pressing my head down, trying to force me to drink the floor-cleaning water. I'm not thirsty. If you guys like it, drink it yourselves. I easily broke free from her grip, casually grabbed her by the head, and shoved her face straight into the toilet bowl. Though I looked fragile, I ate a lot, and my physical strength was exceptionally great. Piercing screams rang out. Countless hands pulled and yanked at me, creating an incredibly chaotic scene. Just then, a tall figure suddenly rushed in, pulling me behind his back. Who gave you permission to bully Tang? I was stunned and looked up. What caught my eye was an unbelievably exquisite side profile. His dark eyelashes drooped, casting a shadow over his eyes. Brother Jiang Xi, we just wanted to help you regain your honor. Besides, Jiu Yahan hates Tang too. Yesterday we even heard him say he wanted to kick her out of the Jiu family. She's just a freeloader. They say she's not even a real relative. What's wrong with us bullying her? Jiang Xi possessed a face completely devoid of aggression, looking extremely harmless. But upon hearing those words, the gentle smile in his eyes swiftly cooled, tainted with a layer of anger. Tang is pure-hearted. If Jiu Yahan doesn't know how to cherish her, that's his fault. In short, I will not allow you to bully her. I stood huddled behind his back, the words of those girls still hovering in my ears. He wants to kick Zi Tang out of the Jiu family. So Jiu Yahan hated me that much. By the time I came back to my senses, Jiang Xi was frowning, using a handkerchief to wipe the dirt off my face. His movements were so careful, utterly focused. He reached out his hand to me. "Hello, Tang Tang. I think we've met before. I'm your brother's best friend." I hurriedly reached out and shook it. "Hello, brother Jiang Xi. Nice to meet you." His hands were very large. When he held my hand, he could almost completely envelop it, making one feel inexplicably safe. Perhaps afraid I'd be sad hearing those words, his voice softened as he spoke on Jiu Yahan's behalf. "Tang Tang, don't mind Ayan's temper. He's been like that since childhood. If he ever bullies you again, you can come over and be my sister. I'm willing to." Before he could finish, I softly called out, "Brother." Jiang Xi's pupils contracted slightly, his eyes deepening like water in a night well. He answered in a hoarse, low voice, "I'm here." But I slipped past him and ran straight toward the back. Jiu Yahan stood outside the door, his expression as dark as the sky before a storm. It was unknown how much of the conversation between me and Jiang Xi he had heard. The corners of his eyes were inexplicably red. Is it true that as long as someone speaks ill of me, you will unconditionally believe them? When Jiu Yahan arrived at the bathroom door, he had seen Jiang Xi leaning against the wall, doing one a shot. He was just about to step forward to greet him when he saw Jiang Xi check his watch, adjust his collar, smooth his hair, and calmly walk straight into the girls' bathroom. Jiu Yahan followed behind him, and as soon as he reached the door, he heard those girls spreading fabricated rumors about him. He had never said those words, yet his sister believed them completely. Jiu Yahan's eyes turned red, and his voice became cold. "Zi Tang, am I that kind of person in your eyes?" Jiang Xi frowned and pulled me behind his back, shielding me tightly. You're scaring your sister. You're always so fierce." "Unlike me, I only know how to cherish and protect her." I crinkled my nose slightly. I could smell a faint scent of green tea wafting around. Finally, Jiu Yahan let out a cold laugh, like a stray dog abandoned in the rain. "Fine. I get it." For the next few days, he didn't say a single word to me and moved his seat far away. Even at home, he just stared at his phone, watching God knows what. The screen's glow reflected on his face, illuminating his eye sockets, glistening as if dusted with glitter. Jiang Xi started visiting the Jiu household frequently, but every time, Jiu Yahan would shoot venomous words at him, every word like a sharp thorn. Jiang Xi would just stand there awkwardly, not knowing whether to advance or retreat. I was a bit unhappy. "You're being too rude. Who treats guests like that?" Jiang Xi, however, was very understanding. He turned to me and smiled. "It's okay, Tang Tang. I must have done something to upset your brother. As long as I see you're safe, I won't come around anymore." He set down a box of pastries made by his family's chef, turned, and was about to leave. I grew anxious. That would be too impolite to you. Just as Jiang Xi was about to step out the door, he suddenly turned back, his voice as light as the wind. "Today, my family's chef made a new flavor of snowflake crisp and also cooked peach gum and cassava beauty syrup. Does Tang Tang want to come over and taste them?" My eyes immediately lit up. "Yes, please." I turned to ask Jiu Yahan, "Do you want to come along? I've eaten pastries from Brother Jiang Xi's chef before. They're really good." Jiu Yahan maintained his proper smile. "I won't go, lest I disturb your fun." I waved at him. "Okay then, I'm going with Brother Jiang Xi." We were just about to step out when Jiu Yahan suddenly called out, "Stop." I turned my head. "What's wrong, brother?" His eyes darkened, fixed tightly on me. "Are you coming home for dinner tonight?" I thought for a moment and replied, "No, you don't need to cook a portion for me tonight." Arriving at the Jiang family's house, Jiang Xi took me on a tour around the villa. As we passed the basement door, he suddenly pulled me to a halt. "The basement hides my secrets. If Tang Tang wants to see, she has to pay a price." I didn't hear a single word he said. All my attention had been stolen by the sweet aroma wafting from the kitchen. The Jiang family's maids were bringing plates of exquisite pastries to the table, a sweet fragrance filling the dining room. I ran over and couldn't resist picking up a piece of snowflake crisp with my bare hand. But an immediate sneer sounded in my ear. The host hasn't even eaten, yet the guest casually grabs food with her hands. Truly lacking manners. "Haven't you heard? She's an orphan adopted by the Jiu family from a welfare institute. That lowly breed is always like this. If I were the madam of the Jiu family, just looking at a girl like this would be an eyesore. I'd kick her back to the orphanage sooner or later." No matter how slow I was, I realized I had encountered too many bad people lately. It's just that I was a bit curious. Why could they blatantly attack me like this while Jiang Xi was standing right here? Before my smooth brain could finish processing, Jiang Xi stepped in front of me, his voice coldly barking out, "Is this a place for you to gossip? Pack up all your things. You're fired." The maids' faces instantly went pale. They frantically apologized to me and left the dining room. Jiang Xi looked at me, a hint of guilt in his eyes. "I'm sorry, Tang Tang. It's all because of those gossipy servants." He paused, his voice deepening as if carrying an ulterior meaning. "But their words aren't entirely wrong. Wealthy families value face the most. You're so naive, and Jiu Yahan's temper is so awful. If no one protects you in the future, what will you do?" I opened my eyes wide and replied very naturally, "I can protect myself." Jiang Xi sighed softly, seemingly pitying yet regretful. Tang Tang is still too naive. In a place like the Jiu family, if you were sold off, no one would even know. Why don't you come to the Jiang family and be my sister? You'll have delicious cakes every day and won't have to live looking at anyone's sour face. He gripped my shoulders tightly, his palms burning hot as if forcing me to give an immediate answer. But my stomach growled at a very inappropriate time. Jiang Xi saw me glancing at the plate of pastries, yet he stubbornly insisted on hearing an answer from me. I had come all the way to the Jiang family, and hadn't even had a bite yet. At the Jiu family, I had never had to suffer hunger. Right at that moment, the main door of the Jiang household was pushed open with a loud bang. Jiu Yahan stood against the light at the doorway, his silhouette casting a long shadow on the floor. "Zi Tang, Mum is calling you home for dinner." The Jiu and Jiang residences weren't far apart, just a 5-minute drive. Jiu Yahan drove the entire way without saying a word. The streetlights flashed by, illuminating his face intermittently. As the car passed over a bridge with a churning river below, he suddenly spoke up. "Are you going to leave the Jiu family to be someone else's sister?" I paused and was just about to answer when the car suddenly lost control. Amidst the driver's panicked screams, the car plunged straight off the bridge. The moment we fell, a feeling of weightlessness consumed me, chilling me as if I'd been plucked out of the world. The car crashed into the river, and water immediately flooded in from all sides. Jiu Yahan's forehead had hit something, blood streaming down, but he didn't care at all. He leaned over to unbuckle my seatbelt, then pulled out a safety hammer, smashing it violently against the window. The glass shattered, and the water level rose rapidly. Seizing the moment before the water got too high, he pushed me out. "Tang Tang, swim to the shore, quickly." I tried my hardest to pull Jiu Yahan out with me, but he didn't know how to swim. His body kept sinking like a heavy stone. Despite this, he stubbornly pushed me upward, afraid I'd be dragged down with him. My head bobbed up and down, freezing river water rushing into my mouth and nose. Coughing and choking, I slapped his arm. "Brother, let me go. I know how to swim. I'll pull you to the shore." In the end, I managed to drag him up with the help of some passers-by. We successfully got ashore and went to the hospital for a checkup. Fortunately, there were no serious issues. The butler said the cause of the accident was someone tampering with the brakes, and the police would investigate it slowly. After a terrifying ordeal, it was midnight by the time we got home. Father and Mother Ji were still busy at the company. Jiu Yahan and I sat at the dining table. I grabbed a chicken leg, then gnawed on some ribs, eating with gusto. He, however, kept his head down in silence, scrolling through his phone with one hand and scooping rice with the other. His movements were mechanical, occasionally helping me debone the meat. From his reddened eyes, tear after tear fell into his bowl of rice. I was startled. This Jiu Yahan was eating rice soaked in tears. Right at that moment, I choked on a piece of meat. Jiu Yahan hurriedly stood up to pour me a glass of water. On the phone he had just set down, the screen was still lit. 10 reasons why you're hated by your sister. Reason 1. Low EQ. Jiu Yahan frantically swiped at the screen and finally managed to hit pause. He shoved the phone into his pocket, pretending nothing happened, the corners of his lips forcing a curve. "I'm going to sleep. Good night, Tang Tang." His footsteps were slightly unsteady, looking both lonely and pitiful. I called out to him, "Brother, I won't leave you, and I won't leave the Ji family either." I was answering the question from before the accident, the one I hadn't had time to answer. I knew that was the reason Jiu Yahan had shed tears. That night, we both slept very well. Not long after came my coming-of-age ceremony. The guests invited were not only friends of father and mother Jiu. I also invited several of my close girlfriends from class. Before the banquet began, Mother Jiu hired a professional makeup artist to do my hair and makeup. I stood in front of the mirror, holding up my dress and doing a twirl. The beautiful gown on my body, the crystal hair clip in my hair. The more I looked, the more I liked it. Without knowing when he arrived, Jiu Yahan appeared in the makeup room. He stared at me for a long time, then gave a cold snort. "Looks passable." But just as I spun around, the hair clip fell to the ground and a corner chipped off. I panicked and bent down to pick it up, but Jiu Yahan was faster. He held the hair clip high up where I couldn't reach it. Jiu Yahan looked at me with a very wicked expression. "Stinky brat Tang, say a few pleasing words and I'll gift you a more beautiful one." I looked at Jiu Yahan. His face clearly had the words "I really want to give you a gift" written all over it, but I didn't expose his stubborn mouth. I clasped my hands together, my eyes curving into crescent moons. "You are the best person in the world. I want a gold hair clip. Will you buy me one?" Jiu Yahan greatly enjoyed this. The word "okay" was just about to leave his lips when Jiang Xi's displeased voice rang out. "Ayan, you're bullying Tang Tang again." The temperature around Jiu Yahan instantly dropped below freezing. "Jiang Xi, why are you like dogskin plaster? Always clinging to Z Tang." Jiang Xi paid no mind to Jiu Yahan's venomous words. Acting as if he didn't hear a thing, he magically pulled out a tiara. What's more, it was made of real gold. "I'm gifting this to Tang Tang for your 18th birthday. But I understood the principle: if you eat someone's food, your mouth becomes soft. If you take someone's gift, your hand becomes soft." I took a step back and stood next to Jiu Yahan. "Sorry, brother Jiang Xi. This item is too expensive. I can't accept it." Hearing me say this, Jiu Yahan's eyes lit up brightly. As if having someone backing him up, he boldly told Jiang Xi, Did you hear that? Hurry up and put it away. That tiara is ugly as hell. Jiang Xi, I wasn't angry either. He smiled gently at me. It's okay, Tang Tang. The day will come when you'll wear it. After saying that, he turned and left. Where I couldn't see. His hypocritically gentle mask crumbled in an instant, replaced by an expression as cold as frost. The banquet began. I linked arms with Mother Jiu, weaving through the crowd, surrounded by gorgeous clothes and intertwined perfumes that were almost suffocating. Whenever we met someone, Mother Jiu would smile and introduce. Tang Tang is our family's adopted daughter, taken in since she was little. We've sent her to study abroad all these years, and she only returned to the country in the last 2 years. It was an obvious lie. I had been at the Jiu family for less than 2 years, and hadn't even completed the adoption paperwork yet. But last night, Mother Jiu had instructed me no less than 10 times to absolutely never reveal my background. Be a good girl, Tang Tang. You surely want to help your brother share the pressure, right? As long as you marry into a good family, your parents and your brother won't have to suffer anymore. I was stunned. My brother also wants me to marry someone else. Mother Gu's expression stiffened for a brief moment. Then she nodded. I stood amidst the crowd like a delicate Western doll put on display, leaving others to scrutinize and evaluate. A few rich young masters even reached out to pinch my cheeks, their tone frivolous. This face is really soft. I wonder what the other parts are like. Their vulgar, obnoxious laughter echoed. But instinctively, I scanned the sea of people looking for Jiu Yahan's figure, but couldn't find him anywhere. Only Jiang Xi. I stood in a corner, quietly watching and taking everything in. Mother Jiu brushed away those gropey hands and pulled me in front of him, her voice holding a warm laugh. Tang Tang is always saying how much she likes little Jiang. Little Jiang, you and An are so close. If you and Tang Tang become a couple in the future, wouldn't our 2 families become even closer? Jiang Xi's gaze fell on me, gentle and tender. Does Tang Tang really like me that much? Looking at Jiang Xi, who resembled a soft white rabbit, I instinctively nodded. Suddenly a girl's sneer transmitted to my ear. So you're Xi Tang? Your perfume is overpowering, and your makeup is tacky and vulgar. You've only just come of age today, and you're already rushing out to seduce men. The person who spoke was Jiang Xi, the younger sister of one of those young masters from earlier. I frowned and began to educate Jiang Xi. The perfume I'm wearing is called Tang Shi Mu. It's a light fragrance, not a strong, unpleasant smell. And my makeup was done by a celebrity makeup artist who charges 1,000 yuan an hour. I think it's very beautiful, not tacky at all. I suggest you go get your eyes checked. Jiang Xi's face turned green then red. She tried to defend herself, rolling her eyes with a glare. Do I need you to teach me? You probably don't know yet, do you? Your family's business has been failing miserably lately, and you desperately need a marriage alliance with other wealthy families in the capital to exchange for benefits. Otherwise, Madame Jiu wouldn't be parading you around like a toy, trying to sell you everywhere. Take advantage of this time while you can still afford 1,000 yuan on our makeup artist. In the future, there might come a day when you have to stand on the streets. Jiang Xi still didn't let it go. She looked at the pastries on the banquet table and mocked bitterly. These cakes are cheap as hell. Only dogs would eat them. I hurriedly spread my arms to protect the plates of pastries. Don't think that just because you say that, I'll share my cakes with you. Suddenly, someone in the crowd couldn't hold back and let out a laugh. Jiang Xi pointed her finger at my face. You? Who are you calling a dog? After saying that, she whipped her head around, her eyes sharp as knives looking for the person who had just mocked her. But when she saw clearly, she immediately fell silent. The ones who laughed were my classmates, and their backgrounds were not ordinary either. She didn't dare offend them. Stomping her feet in anger, she turned and grabbed Jiang Xi's arm, whining coyly. "Brother Jiang Xi, don't be fooled by the facade the Jiu family put up. What study abroad socialite? What knows how to play the piano? It's all fake." She pointed at the golden piano placed in the center of the hall, lifting her chin proudly. "If you don't believe it, tell her to go up and play a tune. An orphan picked up from a welfare institute like her definitely doesn't know how." Mother Jiu knew perfectly well that I couldn't play the piano. The dignity she had desperately maintained was now being overturned right in front of everyone. She awkwardly tried to salvage the situation, but I had already stepped forward. Leisurely walking up to the golden piano, I bowed to the guests. My movements were graceful and breathtakingly beautiful. Then, allow me to embarrass myself. The entire hall went silent. I sat down, my fingertips touching the black and white keys. The notes flowed out smoothly like a spring stream. The piece I played was Mirage d'Amour. When the final note resonated, I looked up, instinctively gazing toward the second floor. Our eyes met. Jiu Yahan stood at the balcony, looking straight down at me from afar. One of his hands gripped the railing, the other was bleeding profusely, drop after drop falling to the floor like blooming flowers. Behind him was his bedroom door, the lock completely smashed, wood splinters scattered everywhere. When those young masters touched me, and when Jiang Xi made things difficult, he had been locked in his room by father and mother Jiu, pacing anxiously like a caged beast, unable to find a way to unlock it. Jiu Yahan resorted to smashing it with his bare hands, striking it until the lock shattered. By the time he broke the door and rushed out, my piano melody had just begun. The dream wedding. I closed the piano lid and stood up. My girlfriends were the first to applaud. "Tang Tang is the best. Tang Tang, come here quickly. This young miss really wants to pinch those dumpling cheeks of yours." Next came the thunderous applause from the guests. Actually, I only knew how to play this one piece. It was taught by Jiu Yahan. When the music academy professor came to the house to teach him piano, I was very envious and secretly stood outside to watch. Afterward, Jiu Yahan pulled me to the piano bench with a cold face and taught me for a long time that I was too stupid and had never been able to play this piece completely. Today was the first time I played it flawlessly. Before the banquet ended, a loud crash came from Jiu Yahan's bedroom. Jiu Yahan disappeared, leaving only a shattered window and glass shards scattered across the floor. He had jumped straight down from the second floor. The whole party fell into chaos. The bodyguards and servants either went to check the security cameras or split up to search. But no one knew of Ji Yongjin's whereabouts. A servant pulled up a camera clip for me and father and mother Jiu to see. After jumping from the second floor, Ji Hen ran to the camera in the garden, raising his middle finger straight at the lens. "Mom, Dad, one option is you give birth to another child starting now. The second is you let Zi Tang take over the family business. Otherwise, just wait for the Ji family's shares to fall into an outsider's hands." Ji Yahan knew that as long as he was there, I would always be labeled as a sacrificial pawn for the interests of the Jiu family and Jiu Yahan. Therefore, he decided to leave, leaving the entire Jiu family to me. He was willing to let me become the heir of the family. The Jiu family was in real estate, but business had been steadily declining in recent years. It was a pity they didn't have a daughter. Otherwise, they could have arranged the marriage alliance with another family for benefits. Until they saw me at the orphanage, beautiful and pure, with an innocent naivety in my eyes sufficient to move the hearts of many men. And so, they adopted me. They originally planned to raise me until marriageable age, and then marry me off, but they didn't expect Jiu Yahan to play this trick. No matter how unwilling they were, they had no choice but to push me into the seat of the Jiu family's heir, and figure out the rest later. The maids in the house exchanged glances. At first, I thought Madam wanted to adopt Tang Tang as a daughter. Why does it look like Miss Tang Tang is the future daughter-in-law chosen by the young master himself? Who would have thought? In the blink of an eye, the adorable Tang Tang became the heir. Enough, stop spreading rumors about the young master. I sat very unsteadily in the position of the Jiu family's heir. I couldn't even pass a math test. As for those green and red stock market charts, I understood them even less. The Jiu couple hired a finance professor to teach me. In every class, I reaped the reward of a sweet slumber like a newborn baby. While sleeping, I always dreamed of Jiu Yahan. Jiu Yahan curled up in his bedroom, crying pitifully while calling my name, begging me not to abandon him. I woke up with a start and sat bolt upright. The professor's eyes flashed with joy. Student Tang Tang finally knows how to listen to the lecture. How wonderful! The college entrance examination was approaching, but the Jiu couple didn't let me take it. They were afraid that if I got my score, it would be lower than an 11th grader's, embarrassing them if it was shown off. The Jiu couple searched for Jiu Yahan for a long time, but there was still no news of him. Just when they thought the Jiu family was doomed, Jiang Xi offered to marry into the Jiu family as a live-in son-in-law. This news shocked the entire wealthy circle. Mother Jiu asked for my opinion. Little Jiang can be considered a child I watched grow up. His personality is good. He's smart, and most importantly, he can help you manage the business. Otherwise, if your father and I enter the grave one day, what will you do? What will happen to the Jiu family? I rested my chin on my hand and pondered for a moment. But wouldn't it be bad to do this without asking my brother's opinion? Mother Jiu saw hope, a mix of joy in her voice. Anyway, Ayan is nowhere to be found now. What is Tang Tang's own opinion? I still hesitated. My brother doesn't want me to become someone else's wife. Let's forget it. Mother Jiu looked at me, her gaze as cold as water. After a while, she sighed. I see you're living quite well by playing the fool. 3 years passed. Jiu Yahan had left the Jiu family. During those 3 years, Jiang Xi maintained a distance, neither too far nor too close, quietly watching over me. Until more and more wealthy young masters appeared around me, pursuing me. He finally couldn't sit still anymore. The day he came looking for me, I was still keeping my head down, memorizing the game theory book Mother Jiu had assigned. She hoped that after learning this stuff, I might grow a few more scheming eyes. Seeing me reading to the point of nodding off, Jiang Xi reached out and closed the book for me. He half knelt, half sat in front of me, his eyes at the same level as mine, as if wanting to pull me into his world. Then he took out an exquisite box and opened it. Inside was the golden tiara he had tried to gift me before, but I hadn't accepted. Tang Tang, my feelings for you are genuine. He paused, his voice deepening. You might not believe it, but this is already the second lifetime I've met you. In our past life, we stayed together until our hair turned white. When we died, we were buried together. Therefore, in this life, I still want to continue being by your side. When he looked at me, the depths of his eyes were filled with attachment, an infatuation bordering on obsession, not looking like a pretense at all. He left the tiara behind, telling me to take my time to think about it. That night, I had a dream. In the dream, everything was like a story from a past life. In that life, my reflex arc wasn't as slow as it is now, nor was I so oblivious and carefree. Growing up in the orphanage, I was a sensitive person, constantly tormented internally. When I arrived at the Jiu family, Jiu Yahan always said malicious things to me. I couldn't see the tenderness hidden deep in his heart, failing to realize he was truly sharp-tinged but always worried about me. Meanwhile, Jiang Xi always appeared during my worst moments. When my hair clip broke and I was afraid Mother Ji would scold me for being clumsy, Jiang Xi was the one who took me to buy another expensive one. When I visited the Jiang family and was bullied by the servants, he stood up to back me. When I was on my way home from school and blocked by hooligans trying to assault me, Jiang Xi descended like a god from heaven to save me. Not understanding what love was, I naturally fell for Jiang Xi. Eventually, ignoring Jiu Yahan's objections, I married Jiang Xi. But after marriage, everything changed. Jiang Xi exhibited an insane control over me. He wouldn't let me go out, wouldn't let me make friends, and absolutely forbade me from meeting Jiu Yahan. To strip me of any support, he even caused the collapse of the Jiu family. Father and Mother Ji went to prison for economic crimes. Jiu ended up wandering the slums. I frantically questioned him why he did all these things. He maintained a gentle smile on his face, but his voice was bone-chillingly cold. Because only by doing this, your world will solely have me. He also told me that, in fact, all the terrible things I had encountered were orchestrated by him alone. He was the one who ordered the girls who secretly crushed on him to corner and bully me in the bathroom. He was the one who ordered the Jiang family's servants to deliberately oppress me. He was the one who instigated the hooligans to block me in the alley and assault me, only to appear like a descending deity at my most helpless moment to pull me out of the sea of fire. Later, Jiu Yahan found out I was living unhappily at the Jiang household and came to rescue me. But while escaping from the Jiang family, we got into a car crash. We both died in that accident. Jiang Xi soaked my cold corpse in formaldehyde and placed it right in his bedroom. Day after day, he looked at me before falling asleep. At the age of 35, he committed suicide in the bathtub. His will stated he wanted to be buried with me. Waking up from the dream, I was covered in cold sweat, feeling as if I had fallen into an ice cellar. The so-called together until our hair turns white in Jiang Xi's words was actually looking at me every day, and even in death, dragging me to be buried together in the dirt. That dream terrified me so much that I vomited violently, non-stop. I only gradually calmed down after the family doctor came and administered an injection. I had someone return the golden tiara to Jiang Xi. When he came to find me, I covered myself with a blanket, shrinking into the corner of the bed, trembling incessantly. But Jiang Xi seemingly didn't notice my fear. Instead, he stepped closer. It was still that gentle, harmless demeanor, but his eyes surged with obsession and madness like a bottomless abyss. Tang Tang, why are you afraid of me? Why can't you only look at me? His voice dropped to a near whisper. As long as you want, in this life, it's okay if you lock me in the house in return. It's fine even if I never see the sunlight. I raised my hand and slapped him hard across the face. You are not the only person in this world. How could I only see you? True love is not a sick, obsessive emotion like yours. Jiang Xi. Jiang Xi used his tongue to poke the inside of his stung cheek, but he didn't seem very angry. If Tang Tang cares about other people so much, then Tang Tang should save the Jiu family. The Jiu family's capital chain is broken. If no one injects funds, it will soon have to declare bankruptcy. Don't you really like Jiu Yahan? As long as you agree not to hate me anymore and learn to slowly like me, the Jiang family can help the Jiu family weather the crisis. This time, I laughed. Jiu Yahan had used his departure from the Jiu family to exchange for my freedom to pursue my own love, not needing me to act like merchandise traded for benefits. How could I disappoint him? My voice carried no emotion. Sorry, I refuse. After Jiang Xi left the Jiu household, I dialed a number that had been gathering dust for 3 years. This was the phone number Jiu Yahan had saved in my contacts. For the past 3 years, to prevent the Jiu family from finding his whereabouts, I had never called this number. The phone rang twice and was quickly picked up. I spoke first. Brother, is that you? Jiu Yahan's voice was slightly hoarse, lacking the immaturity of 3 years ago, now much more steady and mature. Tang Tang, it's me. I know about the Jiu family situation. Don't be afraid, I'm here. In that moment, all the grievances pent up in my heart burst like a broken dam. When are you coming back? I miss you so much. The words miss you were spoken very softly. The other end of the line was very noisy. Overlapping voices of people discussing things could be heard, vaguely mentioning stocks, capital chains, and profits. Jiu Yahan seemed to find a quieter corner, and his voice lowered. Silly Tang Tang. I miss you too. Sometime later, seeing me continuously ignore him, Jiang Xi finally couldn't hold back anymore. He brought the Jiang family's bodyguards and directly blocked me and father and mother Jiu in our house. The whites of his eyes were laced with blood vessels, like someone pushed to the brink. He gripped my shoulders tightly, his voice revealing clear obsession. Tang Tang, give me a kiss, okay? It's been 2 lifetimes, I miss you so much. I shook my head. No. Jiang Xi's expression instantly changed. The bodyguard next to him dragged Mother Jiu, who was tied up tightly like a glutinous rice dumpling, in front of me. Tang Tang, I can't bear to hurt you, but whether others live or die, I don't care. I glanced at Mother Jiu. She was tightly bound, a cloth gagging her mouth, tears and snot mixing together in a miserably disheveled state. I asked, Madam Ji, do you still want me to marry Jiang Xi? The person who had been the most enthusiastic about pushing me toward Jiang Xi was now practically frightened out of her wits. I also lost the mood to toy with the Jiu couple. I looked at Jiang Xi, my voice calm. Open your phone and look at the Jiu Group stocks. Jiang Xi wasn't sure what I was planning, but he still opened his phone to check the Jiu Group stocks. With just one glance, his expression changed. The graph line, since the market opened this morning, was as straight as a sword, shooting straight up without any sign of stopping. Who injected funds for you? His voice sank, as if covered by a layer of fog, unable to see the current situation clearly. Right at that moment, the main doors of the Jiu residence were pushed open with a loud bang. Jiu Yahan stood against the light, his tall and lean silhouette overflowing with an imposing aura. I put my hands on my hips, lifting my chin to look at Jiang Xi with sheer smugness. Of course it's my brother. This time, the Jiu family's capital chain was broken, in no small part due to Jiang Xi's meddling. But he hadn't expected that his attempt to drag down the Jiu family would result in a severe backlash, causing him heavy losses. Jiang Xi's phone buzzed with a barrage of messages. Work issues rained down endlessly, not giving him a second to breathe. He hastily led his bodyguards out of the Jiu family to return to his company to handle it. But as soon as he reached the door, he was intercepted by the police. Hello, Mr. Jiang. We suspect you are involved in a traffic accident from 3 years ago. Please cooperate with our investigation. After Jiang Xi was escorted away, the room immediately fell quiet. I couldn't hold back and threw myself straight into Jiu Yahan's arms, rubbing my head against his chest. We hadn't seen each other in 3 years, but he still had the same pure demeanor. Only his features had grown more mature. From his ears to his neck, he flushed bright red as if on fire. He carefully took out a tiara studded with precious stones, shining like the starry sky, then leaned down and personally placed it on my head. This is a princess's crown. As for the Jiu couple, who were tied up to the side, they struggled for a while before realizing that no one could be bothered to pay attention to them. Ultimately, they had no choice but to lie flat on the floor, staring up at the ceiling, their expressions both exhausted and resigned. Well, this was great. Their son apparently had someone he liked, and they were completely forgotten. But regardless, the Jiu family's business now had an heir. it could be considered a perfect ending. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's story. I deeply appreciate your comments, feedback, and thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. See you in the next stories.